The Dandy Warhols are an American alt-rock band from Portland, Oregon. They were formed in 1994 by Courtney Taylor and Peter Hellstrom, and they're still going 13 albums later. Their first was released in 1995. Their most recent was in 2024. And they've had strong member consistency. They've only got one ex-member over quite a long period of time now. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the album 13 Tales from Urban Bohemia by the Dandy Warhols, which was released in the year 2000, and it was their third album, and it's my first time listening to it. So, not surprisingly, I sometimes have preconceptions about stuff that turn out to be wrong. And as I am going through this list and doing these reviews, I'm finding more and more of these preconceptions that I've had about music, about artists, because I'm not just listening, I'm also reading up on them somewhat as well. So one of the preconceptions that I've had that's been blown out of the water is that the Dandy Warhols were a UK band, or are a UK band. In fact, I thought they were Britpop, and I was wrong, because they're not from Britain at all. They're from the States. Even so, I would still say, or still claim, they have a stylistic resemblance to Britpop. So particularly Blur, but also Suede. It's got a bit of neo-psych power, quite a bit of pop rock, and a bit of a kind of Blur-like approach to quite a bit of variability in what's going on. So as I just said, it is quite varied, from the countrified country lever to the hard rock horse pills to the gentle alt rock of Leap, to the almost Hawaiian, although not quite sure what they're after, on The Gospel, which is the last track. And then to the pop rock of Bohemian Like You, which was their biggest hit, I believe, and certainly a very recognizable song. I did also recognize on this Get Off, which is a track that's, where there was a single and it's been a reasonable hit. So what else am I going to say? Well, I feel like it's occasionally got a kind of slacker vibe as well, but I'm not sure I can really articulate that better than that. I'm so sorry about that. Another thing that's quite varied is the vocals. So this is something that I found quite interesting. So it starts, the first couple of tracks are almost dreamlike vocals, and it's kind of quite disinterested and vague and a bit echoey and a bit, well, reverby and a bit kind of distant. And that feel does come back in later tracks. And then it suddenly swivels into this kind of jokey country character on Country Lever for 3 tracks. And then more straightforward on Get Off and Bohemian Like You. And quite varied. Well, very varied, I'd say, vocally. So from the details that I've got, I don't know if this is all Courtney Taylor singing, because we've not got a detail by track. And you imagine that if there were different members who were singing, then it would be. So I'm assuming it's all him. So if so, that's true. If that's true, he is very versatile. He's an interesting singer. If that's not true, and you happen to know that I've got this wrong, please let me know by leaving me a comment to correct me. I love that. So overall, what did I feel? Well, I quite enjoyed it. It's a bit patchy, so it's got some strong songs, but some weaker bits, in my opinion. It's got a curious art to the album. So one of the things that I do think about as I listen to albums is not just about the music, but it's about the experience of the album as a whole. And so most albums have this kind of the art of getting let's do it this way, getting an arc for the album is something that seems to be very well understood generally. But this one's a bit curious. I'm not quite sure I get why it swivels the way it does at particular points through it. Maybe the point is it's about surprising your expectations and kind of undermining them, in which case it does a good job of that. So, yeah, bottom line, I enjoyed it quite a bit. That's just my opinion, though, and I'd love to know what your opinion is for this album. So please share that with me, please, by leaving me a comment. That's it from me for now.